The virtual world sandbox game, Minecraft, launched an alpha in 2009 that allowed a player to explore a massive pixelated biome, where they could build anything they like. But there's no need to tell you all of this, right? Becoming somewhat of a cult hit, Minecraft edged itself into territories no video game has ever explored. Some colleges in Sweden and Denmark offer extensive courses that discuss the science behind Minecraft, which include blueprinting cityscapes, environmental training, and survival. The game's highly addictive properties lie behind its reward system, giving the player a sense of self-fulfillment after finally placing the last block on that castle they spent their whole day on. As Minecraft developed, so did its users. People got smarter and more resourceful and soon grew tired of Minecraft's basic tools. Texture packs, resource packs, and mods soon started surfacing all over the internet, some of which were a bit more obscure than others. Spookier. Textures that would change the layout of the original game and make it look like something out of a horror film. Since when did Minecraft become a scary game anyways? Well, it began with an update. On Halloween of 2010, Notch felt it was necessary to address the boredom expressed by plenty of vanilla Minecraft users. The concept of the game was a great selling point, but they knew the excitement wouldn't last forever. Notch introduced a second area in his blog, which he called The Nexus. No one was sure what he meant by this ambiguous title. Its initial title was simply called Hell, but was later changed in efforts to deploy a more original game. Just a couple days before Halloween, a final name was settled upon, and the creators presented Minecraft with a much darker side we all know today as the Nether. This hellish biome is composed of newer blocks exclusive to the Nether, such as soul sand and nether bricks. Large towering fortresses house terrifying ghouls and monsters, and oceans of lava below provide a dim ambient light for exploring the many creepy caverns and crevices. You are visiting a realm unbound by the constraints of time or direction, so your compass and your clock will be virtually useless. If you have them in your hotbar, you can even see the needles spinning and flailing without control. The enemies down here behave differently than the ones above. Much more demonic in appearance, your first encounter will likely be a repulsive hybrid of a pig and a human. Brandishing golden swords, they travel in packs like wolves. You'll seldom come across less than 4 or 5 of them at a time, so be careful when approaching, or you'll find yourself overwhelmed very easily. These pesky creatures are called zombie pigmen, and it's pretty easy to see why. Ghasts are just as dangerous. A direct hit from their fireball is one of the most powerful mob behaviors in the game, and can kill you in one hit depending on your difficulty. Their distinctive feature seems to be the invasion of nether fortresses, very large and lavish complexes built into the nether's many fissures and rocky imperfections. The fortresses were built to protect others from the ghast's fireball attacks, even though some rooms in the fortresses can ironically be sizable enough for a ghast to automatically spawn inside. Digging upwards will also serve no purpose, as you will only be met by the unbreakable boundary of a bedrock ceiling. In the console versions, the maps are much smaller. Straying too far will reveal bedrock walls to impede the player's progress. Over time, speculation of the physical whereabouts of the Nether has surfaced, and a fan-favorite theory seems to put the Nether miles below the overworld, suggesting that a densely packed layer of bedrock separates the two realms. The fortresses are usually mated and flushed with another type of block called netherrack. If you happen to have a flint and steel handy, lighting it ablaze will spark a fire that burns bright infinitely until manually extinguished. It would appear a problem for a habitat of any other material, but the fortresses are accustomed to taking enormous amounts of abuse from ghasts, making the flammable netherrack a suitable building foundation. Other resources to be on the lookout for include nether quartz ore, glowstones, and nether brick fences. Items are easily portable to and from worlds, so you won't meet any resistance building your own nether fortress in the middle of a forest somewhere, if the urge strikes you. The only material impossible to transport between dimensions are water blocks. It doesn't take a genius to deduce that the Nether is a pretty scorching area, but taking a water block across the portal and dumping it out will only result in instant evaporation. And I know I don't have to remind you of the dangers that come with spawning beds. Sleeping in a bed in the Nether will cause a spontaneous explosion with a large blast radius, and will likely kill you if you happen to be without any armor. That's a clever and subtle way of saying there's no rest for the wicked, I suppose. A temporary visit to some hellish realm is a common motif seen in a myriad of games, both old and new, while other more docile animals congregated in harmony above ground. There are much more sinister creatures and demons lurking under miles of rock, where only bloodthirsty beasts inhabit. Wither skeletons, sentient beings known as blazes, and enchanted dark rocks called magma cubes are all one and the same down in the pits below. The ghasts, however, are certainly a curious bunch. Its textures show dried tears streaming from its face, as though the life of tragic loss is the only life it ever knew. While in a peaceful and undisturbed state, the ghast will bellow out strange moaning noises, encroach on their territory, and those same moans will become blood-curdling cries of battle, much higher pitched. So high, in fact, that an earlier update was put in place to lower the volume of their screams. Further feeding the flames of this Minecraft mania, some animated short films called machinimas give opinionated creation stories and theories to how some of these creatures, and the Nether itself, came to life. The evolution of the Nether hastened when modding communities started adding their own scary additions to an already viciously spooky world. Mods included a denser variety of monsters, enhanced resolution texture packs, and even resources inspired by other horrific cult phenomena such as Silent Hill, Doom, and an assortment of popular creepypastas. Soon, people discovered that being in control of your own platform was much more flexible and modular. It felt much like being the developer of your own horror game, twisting textures and bending rules to turn a pixelated planet into their own ideal fright fest. Of course, this doesn't put limitations on anything else you may be able to accomplish with the game. It truly and literally is what you make it. Since its inception, Minecraft slowly identifies less and less with the term video game, and has blossomed into a community of builders and thinkers, fervent about hopping behind the computer and eagerly laying down the first blocks of their next creation. Surely 20 million people can't be wrong after all. Daring explorers will build nether portals and set out to build their own homes right on the brink of danger. Just make sure you're well equipped. It's a dangerous place down there.